Hey everybody, this is Jeff. Welcome back to the channel. You guys saw the title. Today we are going to talk about crashing. And more of a motivational video, I suppose, of like why you shouldn't be scared to crash. So I'll just open with saying like I crash all the time. I have gotten hurt, usually not too bad. Most of the time, if I'm only pushing myself a little bit past my skill set and I'm not just out riding like an idiot, usually the crashes are pretty minor. Maybe some bruises, maybe some scratches, trash the jersey, trash the pants, maybe bend the bars, scratch the plastics. Not a big deal. Usually I pick the bike up, keep right on riding. So I believe that's how most people's crashes are too. I'm not going to downplay anybody's accidents or pain by saying that freak accidents don't happen, but they're freak accidents for a reason. They're pretty rare. So anyways, I want you guys to get out, push your skill sets, and let's talk about the main crash question in this video. So you see me out here kind of bombing around in the sand. I didn't have a great plan for this day. I wasn't going out to make a video. I was just going riding. But everybody knows if you don't record the ride, then all the cool stuff happens on that ride, such as crashing into barbed wire fences. So I went out looking for some fishing spots. Then I went over to the sand pit that I often play around in, and you'll see here me just practicing some techniques. I'm trying to do 180s, and then you'll see me just having fun. And then right here, I sort of tuck the front end a little bit, and I want you to notice that I don't necessarily like panic or freeze up or stall out. I just keep it moving. You want to keep practicing. You don't want to get too scared. A lot of my crashes, especially in my earlier days of riding, were from when I would panic and freeze up and get really nervous about things. Then I would make even more mistakes. You know, you get in your head, you lose your confidence. So just got to keep at it. I don't know if there's really any shortcut to that besides just to keep riding and keep having close calls and near misses. But yeah, I kept playing around out here in the desert a little bit. And then when it was time to head back to town, there's, I guess, 3 fence rows here, and I never had noticed that before. I usually just go around the end of the fence row, and I ride up that trail along the side of the road. On this particular excursion, I thought that the second fence row was new for some reason, and I was like, well, that's odd. I've never seen that, so I'll just ride the normal route. Well, I went between the 2 fences, which is not my normal route, and it never has been. And I'll just let the video play out and see if you guys can figure out what happened, and then I'll explain kind of what happened. Alright, so there it is, me eating shit. So let's run through it real quick. So I turned between the fences, mistake number 1. I come out of this little ditch, little wheelie. I see that manhole cover. I was like, well, that's not normally there. I don't remember that. Still haven't put it together yet. And you go, there's the crevices, boom, go down. So if you listen, right before I hit the washouts, you'll hear like some instincts kick in a little bit from previous crashes. And I give it a ton of throttle, trying to kind of float the front across it. And I think the front made it kind of okay, but I think it kicked the rear sideways. And once that happened, I kind of just let off. I knew I was going into the fence, so there was no need to pack any more speed on. And then I got stuck in the fence upside down in the barbed wire, kind of just folded in half, and I ended up ripping my jersey pretty good getting it out of there. But otherwise, everything seemed pretty fine. I was okay. I got a little cut on my wrist that I hadn't even noticed yet. But for the most part, pretty good. Try to start the bike, tip over sensor, says no. Cycle the key, wait for the deck to do its thing. Yeah, might as well fix the mirror. Bike fires right up, no big deal, and I'd be on my way. I found kind of some funny footage when I was making this video from earlier. I don't know if this is called a Freudian slip or not, but I thought you guys might get a kick out of this, and we'll get back to it.
I'm gonna go ahead and head to the dam. So that's that. I'm gonna put my music back on, and we're gonna have a good time if I can do it with my gloves. Sometimes the gloves work with the phone. Sometimes they just piss me off. You know what I'm talking about? We're gonna not listen to that. This'll work. It's probably crash my shit hard. This song makes me ride fast.
Alright, guess a little bit of foreshadowing there. That was a little bit early in the ride before I got going. I actually did really good the whole time I was trying to ride fast, and then towards the end, you know, I'm relaxing, you know, I'm on my way home, a few miles from the house. That's when it always happens, I guess. So got up, started riding the bike. I normally don't give the bike a big once-over after a crash, and I didn't this time either because it didn't seem like a serious crash, and it felt fine, but it's kind of making a funny noise. Well, what it was the low fender broke when I hit the barbed wire fence. Right up here, I get enough speed that I get enough air under the front of the low fender that it pries up the front high enough that the rear kind of pivots into the tire treads, rips off right here. You can kind of see it in the bottom of the video, fly off. I look and see what was that. Okay, front fender, I'll go back and pick that up. For whatever reason, sentimental value, I'll keep it around for like 2 years and then throw it away because that's what I do. Also, I'm not going to replace the low fender. I'm just going to put my high fender kit back on. I used to have the high fender on it. I like the look of the low fender personally. It's really the only reason I put the low fender back on. If you look back at the old videos, you'll see the high fender. Initially, when I swapped them, I remember weighing them on the kitchen scale, and they were like within a few grams of each other with all the hardware and everything. So there's really no weight benefit to one or the other. I guess the only benefit could be that the low fender is unsprung weight and that the high fender would be sprung weight. So maybe you get a little bit better suspension action out of the high fender since it's moving less weight around. I don't know. Probably I'll never notice the difference there, but it's something I thought about. So there's the low fender. Put that in there, and you can see when I get back on the bike that the windscreen is scratched up. The headlight bezel or lens got scratched up a little bit too. I'm going to not put the low fender back on. I'm just going to put the high fender on, and I'm also going to update the windscreen and things a little bit, try to make the bike look a little bit more modern. That's kind of the plan this year, is to update the 990, get it looking a little bit more modern, maybe increase the capabilities a little bit just to keep it up with these modern bikes. There's not really a great modern equivalent in my opinion, so I'm not going to upgrade bikes. The only thing that's kind of close would maybe be like an F900 or the Desert X, and then I'm going to spend like $20,000 and then still have to have the suspension done and tires and get everything the way I want. So I'm just going to update the 990. It's kind of a cool bike, kind of got a legendary status. I love the bike personally, it fits my personality well, and we've been through a lot, so I'm just going to keep it and update it. So hope you guys had a good Memorial Day. That's all I got for this video. Hope you guys have a great day today, and get out there, ride those bikes. Don't worry about crashing too much. Be smart, wear your safety gear, but you know, don't be afraid to push the limits and learn and advance your skills. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a good night. See you in the next video.